Mayor Todd Gloria chose his State of the City address in January to unveil a bold new effort to solve homelessness.
Tonight, I'm announcing a philanthropic campaign to help the city carry out our ambitious plans to end our homelessness crisis. Called San Diegans Together Tackling Homelessness, this campaign already has commitments for $250,000.
The city aimed to raise $370 million in donations this year from philanthropic organizations, private businesses, and average residents. The money would go towards preventing homelessness, expanding shelters, and building an affordable housing high-rise downtown. But San Diegans Together Tackling Homelessness has so far raised just over $1 million, a tiny fraction of its target for the year. Its only expenditure was a few $1,000s on T-shirts for a volunteer event. Experts and advocates who focus on homelessness response and prevention are unimpressed with the initiative.
It is a worthy aspiration, but not terribly practical and probably not achievable.
Rick Gentry is the former CEO of the San Diego Housing Commission. The public agency works to expand affordable housing and address homelessness.
I think there's a great need for planning, coordination, focus, and partnership, and maybe starting with the latter first. You don't just set out a goal and expect people to follow you.
So far, the city hasn't followed through on key commitments. A 10-member advisory board that's supposed to help run the initiative is only half filled and has yet to hold a meeting. The city also said it would post updates online about the initiative's fundraising and spending, but that information is nowhere to be found.
It's bad governance. There's a real issue with the lack of transparency.
Jesse Schmitty is the state policy manager with the advocacy group Alliance San Diego. He's skeptical of the city's plan and says nonprofits and residents already do a lot of work in this space. He argues they shouldn't have to shoulder more of the burden.
This is an issue that needs to be dealt with and addressed by our government.
Mayor Todd Gloria declined multiple interview requests through a spokesperson. San Diego Chief Operating Officer Eric Dargan is overseeing the initiative for the city. He downplayed the criticisms.
I don't consider it falling short. I just consider it an opportunity for anybody that wants to get on the bandwagon. There's no time frame. There's no deadline. This is just us as a community of people working together, asking ourselves, what can we do with what we have?
That said, Dargan initially hoped more people would donate to San Diegans Together Tackling Homelessness.
You'd be amazed how many people in this city are not doing anything.
Dargan says the initiative is looking into funding prevention efforts and assisting college students facing housing instability. But it's made only one expenditure to date, purchasing T-shirts for a volunteer cleanup event downtown.
Doing $2,400 on cleanups to get volunteers to come and be active downtown and understand where a lot of trash is coming from, which is coming from the homeless community. That's a small effort and not anything major.
Dargan says the city still stands behind the initiative, despite the limited impact. But he offered a more modest measure of success than the original goal of resolving homelessness.
If we're able to assist one person, then this initiative is a success.
So the city will continue this donation-based effort to address homelessness. But should it?
No, I don't think that this sounds like a very successful initiative.
Jennifer Mosley is a professor at the University of Chicago who studies the intersection of nonprofits, philanthropy, government, and homelessness. She says the city misjudged how philanthropy works and that it hasn't done enough to inspire confidence in potential donors.
I think that the proof is already there in terms of the low amount of money that they've raised, the low amount of money they've given out, and the fact that they don't seem to have built any infrastructure around it.
Mosley says the city should focus its efforts instead on supporting established charities and working more closely with the Regional Task Force on Homelessness. Scott Rodd, KPBS News.